Okay, folks, I'm going to call to order the meeting of the Carroll County Alcoholic Beverage Board. The record reflect that it is April 2nd, 2026. It's 10:33 a.m. I'm Officer Gillum. I work with State Excise Police. I'll be leading this meeting. We do have all 4 board members with us, so 3 remaining board members. You all can introduce yourselves for the record, please.
Randy Meyer. David Weatherly.
Anita Hartman.
Okay, for the record, this meeting is being recorded with audio and video equipment, so please be mindful of anything you say after this point, as it will become part of the public record. So with that, do we have anybody wishing to voice opposition to any of the permits that are scheduled? Okay, let the record reflect that there are none. So if all of you are going to be offering testimony, I need you to take note. So if you would please raise your right hand. Your other right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answers you've given on your application or any testimony you give to questions asked by the board be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
I do. Board members, we have one renewal today, no parent violations for the Sitco, 220 West Main Street, Delphi, permit number DL 08-29697. Any questions, concerns, or motions regarding that one?
Make a motion for it.
Okay, moved and seconded for approval. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, motion will carry. Okay, next we have a transfer of ownership for the Shell Quick Pantry, 1245 Commercial Drive, Delphi, permit number DL 08-34479. Seth, you want to just introduce yourselves?
Yes, I'm Bruce McLaren. That's MC capital LAREN. And I'm due for permit preparation work for people. With me is Allocation Marsh, and she's the comptroller of the company. And she's been with them quite a while. They have other, I guess, sister companies besides that. The Shabbat also owns some other locations. So overall, they've been in business around this general western part of the state for quite a while. They're real careful. They know how valuable a permit is and how it, she doesn't know what this particular store sales would be of alcohol, but typically it's 2 to 5%. Of course, they can't sell cold beer to go or anything like that. They're real careful. They have a manager that's good at training people. Every employee gets trained, every employee gets warned, every employee gets brushed up on during the year. And I think
on the floor plan that the alcoholic beverages are placed right in front of the registers. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Seems like that would produce a reduced theft.
Yes, hopefully.
We do have the affidavit. The sign was posted. The floor plan's fine. What are the hours of operation of this space?
It is 24 hours.
Is it really?
Mhm.
So I'm sure we haven't signed down and on, since you're familiar with the space.
have you-
How many locations do they have? Roughly.
These particular people, I think, have 3. Overall, everybody there's some brothers and there's a son and daughter and probably.
It's a family adventure for sure.
Any history of violations at any of their businesses?
Nope, we had in Logansport, we peeled off the no smoking within 8 feet sign, had to replace that.
Did you get a violation for that?
We did get a written violation for
I
that.
don't know if it was a warning or you didn't pay a fine. You
No
said.
fine, just replace.
Why did we peel it off?
So our petroleum brands are making it so we have to have 60% of our windows uncovered. So we told the guys, go take all of those branding stickers down, and they took everything down. So it just had to be replaced.
Fair enough. I don't have any other questions, board members.
No question.
Their food
Questions?
passes the health department, I take it. Okay.
Yep. Make a motion to approve.
Moved and seconded for approval. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion will carry. The only thing, this will be approved by the state next Tuesday.
Okay.
Just let them know that the permit number that they're currently ordering under will die with
Okay.
so middle of next week, they'll have to start using their new permit number.
Yeah, I don't think they have a permit now, do they?
Nope, we're not selling
They're
anything
not, no
currently.
alcohol there.
Okay, so it's a transfer of ownership.
Ownership and location.
Oh, okay. Where did it come from then?
Mick Weiss, the grocery store,
Massengill.
Massengill was operating it.
Okay.
Then been closed for a while. It was about a week from being made dead. Was on the kill agenda and,
I was happy to catch that.
yeah, well, Jeff McKean is a brother.
Yes.
He does a lot of alcoholic beverage work all over the state. So we worked with Jeff to make sure it didn't get made dead and got transferred.
Easy peasy. All right. Folks, have a good day.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
You bet.
All right, board members, next we have a renewal violation for Willoughby's Food and Spirits. 15 West Columbia Street in Florida, permit number RR 08188846. If you want to just introduce yourself for the record.
Scott Willoughby, owner.
Scott, how long have you had this permit?
It'd be 19 years this summer.
So you're here for a December 12th, 2025 administrative violation charges for essentially retail, the unauthorized purchasing of alcoholic beverages from Meyer.
Yes,
$750 fine was paid.
yes.
You want to explain to me how this happens with a veteran operator?
We ran out of liquor, certain kind of liquor, and I was under the impression that if we did run out and we couldn't order till the following week, that we could go to the store and buy a bottle and have it on the shelf, but I was wrong.
Okay, so during your time, you've been through the server training program, correct?
Yes,
I know this is covered in the server training program explicitly. And since you've been ordering alcohol through a distributor all these years, you understand how that works.
yes.
Okay, so you stated that you thought it was okay to go to Meyer. I need you to defend that. Why did you think it was okay? Where did you get that information? Because it doesn't exist.
My sister-in-law used to own a bar in Lafayette, and they told me one time that if you were out of a bottle, you could go get one.
But you had received information in the training program that was counter to that.
That was my
And I think you took advantage of something somebody might have told you because it fit your needs.
that was
Did
my-
you know better?
I do now, yes.
No, you knew better before.
Well,
It,
okay,
come on.
that's fine.
We hear these excuses all the time. People are very quick to say, well, I thought it was okay. Somebody had told me. That's why we have the training program. You know better. You just took advantage of something you think somebody told you something. How many violations have you had in your history?
2, I believe.
Or was the last one for?
When gambling first came out for pull tab tickets, we had some tickets there. We applied for the license and we had tickets there, but the state hadn't given us our license yet for it. And between the time of we applied for it and we received the license, they came in and seen that we had tickets there.
And you probably knew that was illegal as well, right?
It was all brand new with the ticket stuff, so I'm not quite for sure.
And just to be clear with you, I really don't. I've heard this story so many times. It kind of just becomes irritating. When we're dealing with the renewal of existing permits, one of the reasons we can deny a permit is whether the applicant is of good moral character and public nuisance. Telling the officer that you thought it was okay to buy it at Meyer, I don't believe that. And then you told the board the same thing. I think that would certainly set you up for a reasonable course of denial. So I don't really particularly buy your story, and I think you understand my position on that.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what the board wants to do, what their thoughts are on this. Certainly, you're not a public nuisance. But I don't appreciate the story at all. Board members, your thoughts? I mean, you have options at this point. We can renew it for a 2-year period, as if they were in good standing. You can do a 1-year renewal. Basically, it's an informal probation. Those can run in perpetuity. They come up next year, we can continue to do it indefinitely. Until we're either convinced that they're in compliance, or we take it one step farther and deny the renewal of the license, or we can just simply deny it. There are 3 reasons, again, why you could do that. One being is the applicant of good moral character, whether the permit premise has become a public nuisance, and whether any criminal offenses have taken place at the permit premise. So I'll open it up to discussion.
Any thoughts, Peggy?
I'm sorry.
Any thoughts?
Well, I've never heard anything bad about Willoughby's. I've not been in there myself, but I've never heard anything bad. And if you need a motion on one of those, I would motion that we do it for a year.
Okay,
I would second that.
okay. Carter, moving and seconding it for 1-year approval. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion will carry. It's a 1-year probation. No more stories, just follow the rules. If you have any questions, reach out to the actual district office or officers who can help you. rather than telling us that somebody told you something. So, okay, 1 year renewal. Stay out of trouble. Okay, next we have renewal. You can sit down if you like. For the Oakdale 11899 West Oakdale Drive, Monticello. Permit number RR08352335. Okay, so a little backstory on it. These two thought they were here for a transfer of ownership. They are not. We are dealing with the renewal of the existing license under Arthur Franklin LLC with a violation. For the record, the board members were provided with a copy of the written report, so they are aware of what's going on, because I didn't want to read through the 8 pages of it today. Typically, we would want the owners to be here, but the owners are hands off. I spoke with one of them on the phone a little while ago. He is okay moving forward with the understanding that we are dealing with a serious matter. Sorry, state your name, please.
Jeff Van Welden.
Jeff does have a manager's questionnaire signed by the company, giving him the authority to represent the business. What is your name?
Autumn Wachka.
Okay. Even though you're part of the corporation, you are not actually not part of the corporation, so you are not authorized to speak on behalf of the business. So with that, these are the guys, this is the folks who can operate. So this is kind of a lengthy report. Basically, we'll start the basics of it. It was issued 12/2 of 2024. It's an administrative violation for sale of alcohol to an intoxicated person. No manager's questionnaire on file, and for certain training requirements. There was a $1,500 fine and a 3-day suspension issued. As a result of this, someone did pass away after being overserved at the business.
After they had left.
But were the actions of the business directly tied to the death?
As far as I know, it's never been, I can't answer that because.
Have you been sued
No,
civilly?
no.
Okay.
No, his brother took him home and his brother returned back. I mean, their family had their celebration of life there the next week.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, no, we've not been sued civilly, nothing.
Having read through the report, this isn't one of those cases where their intoxication was subtle. It was obvious to the officer who reviewed the video footage, to employees, to, I think there was a guest in there who had observed it as well. Did you all get a chance to read through this?
Yep.
Okay, am I correct in that?
You're correct.
Yeah, so this occurred in what, December 2nd of 24. How long have you guys been operating here?
We were probably operating it, just shortly before that, we took over managing for the other owners. I've owned the Riverside in Monticello for 14 years. We manage, I also own the TCC golf course. No other operation we've ever had has had a violation. We came in here to this prior operation that we took over managing, that we've now purchased. We are putting in all of our training, all of our rules, all of our regulations, putting that all in place.
When did you purchase the business?
It's been in January of this year.
Did you not put anything into place when you took over management?
In terms of,
Setting a standard for checking IDs, not serving people who are intoxicated, any of that stuff? 'Cause you said you bought it when?
January of this year.
That's when the financial went through. When did you take over the management?
It would have been shortly before that violation happened.
So the violation did occur under your watch. So,
Right. It didn't.
and are you guys hands on, hands off, in
Hands-on.
there every day?
Yes.
Who's Sedona?
Sedona was the bartender.
Whose hire was she?
She was hired by the former owners.
Just for the record, I'm going to enter this report from the state excise police, EX 24004464, into the record as state's exhibit number 1. Just so that the commissioners have the ability to access it and review it on their own. And this came to us from conservation officers who basically just discovered the body with, I think, the assistance of the brother-in-law or someone, because they were looking for the deceased.
And he had fallen into the lake. The river, so.
Toxicology showed he had a 0.24. Blood alcohol content of 0.241, which is obviously significant and supported by video footage and observations from folks in the business that night. Were either of you there that night?
We were not.
What was your experience with Sadhana?
Our experience has been, she's, she bartended there for a long time before we took over. We, obviously, when this happened, we went back and went over with her, you know, the watching of, the observation signs of somebody being over intoxicated.
Which, for the record, she knew when the officer talked to her.
Yep.
Does she still work
You
there?
know, the other one is, she does. The other one we had talked to all of our employees about, which I think is, I don't know how to, it's hard to control, but in today's world with these vapes and what are inside these vapes, some of these people, go outside and have these vapes and, there could be other substances in that, and they come back in that, even though technically, you have not quote unquote overserved them by them, if they're acting in a manner that we're just part of the training of, trying to adjust to this also. So we've talked to her about all of that as well.
Sure. And the charge for this one was sale of alcohol to somebody who's intoxicated. And we understand intoxication comes from multiple sources. It can come from pills. It could come from somebody popping pills in the parking lot or in the bathroom, somebody coming in intoxicated. Any number of things, medical conditions could give somebody a reason to show signs of intoxication. That is, and I've seen videos and I've dealt with cases where, I guess to back up to kind of elaborate on your point of people with pills and vapes and all that stuff. Yes, there are times when people are consuming substances that make them react more so to alcoholic beverages. That is not the case here, though. They were overserved. Pure alcohol, 0.241 is quite high, especially when you're almost 3 times the legal limit. And even though they did leave the business, like the outward signs of intoxication were obvious. So there's no excuse for it. There's no redirecting, saying that it could have been pills, could have been vape. And I don't think that's what you're doing, but I just want to make a point to the board that that's not what we're doing.
I mean, just the numbers. Not always served.
Did you bring a copy of the board? Did you highlight those numbers?
Didn't. Several drinks served.
So I don't think this is when people get to this point where she's being told to cut someone off and she just keeps on doing it, like this is not a one-off situation. Like this is somebody's routine behavior. I do not know how there haven't been more issues. And I am shocked that she's still working there, but that's completely your prerogative. In a matter of approximately 4 hours, Sedona Powers served Evan Wood 7 16-ounce Coors Light banquet beers, 5 shots, and 1 Bloody Mary. It would be expected and foreseeable by even an untrained individual that a person who consumed this volume of alcoholic beverages in this amount of time would be intoxicated. Yeah, I don't know. How do you defend it?
She was in the wrong.
Yeah,
She was.
She's still employed.
She is. We went through corrective actions with her. And we have not had another issue with her. We obviously watch it very close. And like I said, since we've taken over here, we have instilling our, and monitoring the way that we've monitored all of our other locations where we've never had a violation.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate to walk into. I'd say you didn't really walk into it. I mean, you were operating at the time of the violation, so. So just, I don't know, unless you guys have anything else, I'm gonna just go back over the reasons we can deny the renewal of an existing permit. Do as you wish. I'm not trying to influence your vote. This is a recommendation board. We'll send our opinions down to the state. They will review everything and they will make their own determination. We only have three options: whether the applicant is good to moral character, whether the permit premise has become a public nuisance, and whether any criminal offenses have taken place at the permit premise. So if you choose to deny, you need at least one of those. So, do you guys have any questions that you need answered or anything?
Yeah, I have a couple. Do you have anything in place for an intimidation factor that if the bartender cuts somebody off?
I'm not following you.
I wonder if somebody's intoxicated. And bartender says no more. Can they be intimidated? Do you have any controls?
Yeah, we have, like, for example, the bartender, we have a strict rule, the bartender's never by herself. There's other employees there, there's female servers, there's male servers, there's full male staff that's in the kitchen as well, and they know to go, not try to confront somebody on their own.
When did that go into place?
We collectively, at all of our locations have done that for
Sure.
as long as we have.
Yeah, it's solid training.
They're, obviously after, this happened, we've, once again, keep training. I don't think she was, the gentleman was with his brother, he took him home. I don't think she was intimidated by him.
Okay.
I don't believe.
Reading the report, I would almost disagree with that. There was some statement in there where she's like, they're not gonna listen to me now. And then the officers had a really hard time getting a hold of her for a statement. I think they noted that she did not return phone calls, text messages, and they actually had to physically track her down before she decided she was willing to speak. And then I think she refused to sign the ticket as well. Unless that was someone else.
I don't know if she finally signed it ever. Says she did sign it. Every put refusal on there, if she did sign it.
So lack of cooperation. I mean, and it goes
I
back,
wasn't aware that there was a problem either. I apologize.
well,
If I would known that, I would have done all I could to get a hold of her for you.
well, the officers didn't need your help getting a hold of her. She just needed to respond to the messages. And she was not wanting to do that.
Know there's a death investigation, it's very serious business, so cooperation is very important. Whoever they're speaking to needs to cooperate, because that's shows full reflection of their business.
We cooperate fully with anything they asked us for.
Yeah, this is specifically to your employee who's still working. Okay. Okay, board members.
Personally, I think the one that needs to be punished the most is Sedona. I know they're in charge and they should have made sure she knew the training and everything, but when she was confronted with the customers about cutting him off, and she didn't, she evidently thought she was better than anybody else or something, because she just kept serving him. And she's the one that needs to be punished, I think, but I don't know if I could pick out.
Unfortunately, it falls on the business itself to
That's
train.
what I thought, yeah.
Yeah, that's ultimately, I mean, we can't pass off the responsibilities of the ownership onto the employees. And that's where their responsibility becomes to train and manage.
And we can put her on probation or whatever you would like us to do, or not be able to work by herself, so there's always another supervision.
So this board cannot make those recommendations, but I will tell you, this has been over a year and you haven't done that on your own. I mean, to me, that speaks,
I'm just asking if that was something you guys would like us to do, we could.
we can't make those recommendations.
We've kept doing training and other people on site as well. And
And I know this is a bad situation, I'm sure you don't want to be part of, but. So. You have the options to deny the permit again, citing one of the three reasons. You have the ability to cite it for a 1-year renewal, or you can do a 2-year renewal as if nothing has happened.
I'm a little discouraged that I didn't get more response, especially from her. Sedona. I mean, I think she should have been here. And I haven't seen, I mean, you talk about training, but I haven't seen that. You know, what did you do as far as training? More training to your staff and,
recognition of, you know, serving toxic people, you know, making that determination before it's, you know, before they're at the level where, you know it is, being more observant on the amount of drinks that they've served somebody even when they're busy, you know, making sure they observe it. If they're not sure, check the ticket.
Have you been through the server training program yourself?
I have some.
And I believe it covers some of your options and gives you strategies for how to address these matters. I mean, that's why it was created.
did you put limits on drinks regardless of their state of intoxication? I don't know. In other words, if I come in and sit down, I'm allowed to so many drinks, period.
The training program doesn't really recommend that because everybody reacts differently to alcohol.
Okay,
Because if someone comes in and they've already been drinking or have had
okay,
a handful of pills, which happens,
okay.
go
Go by the signs, what
Yep.
they need to keep that.
you have to look for signs of intoxication with the understanding that at some point there are people who hold their alcohol very well, and somebody may consume a lot of alcohol before showing signs of intoxication. But you may end up in front of the jury trying to explain why a guy had 16 beers and wasn't showing any signs. Like, while these people exist, convincing the public that they exist is a different matter. And you are going to have a very hard time with it. So.
What are the minimum signs? Intoxication.
Slurred speech. Watching the people when they get up to go use the restroom, to go outside. You know, watching their movements, so.
But how if one bartender's there busy can watch all that?
It's their responsibility. And like I said, I say just a little bit ago that, you know, one thing we've done is, you know, put more staff there. So there's, you know, more observation, waitresses, communication. If they're in the other room serving and they see somebody walking outside and they see them stumble or, you know, having an issue, you know, they can relay that to the bartender as well.
So you have done something.
Yes.
Someone's gonna have to make motions.
What's our options again?
2-year approval, as if nothing's happened, 1 year informal probation, or denial citing one of the 3 reasons.
Can we do a 1-year probation? If there are violations in that period of time, can it then be denied?
You just revisit it. Typically they're scheduled back before the local board every 2 years. If we put them on a 1-year probation, it means we want to see them regularly to make sure that there aren't any continuing issues. Because right now, if we give somebody a 2-year and there's a violation tomorrow, we won't see them for 2 years.
But no, I'm
So
not comfortable with 2 years, that's definitely.
I think unfortunately, we see this sometimes with some of our more remote locations. Like a bar downtown in any city, but Lafayette as an example, people are watching it. Put something out like where the Oakdale, it's pretty far removed from everything, and I think you have bartenders who get a little free and do what they want because they're not being checked. So can't say that's the case, but that's what my experience has been, you know,
It is remote.
you know. So people seem somewhat insulated and able to do a little bit more, give overserved people with the intention of giving them a ride home, or knowing that they're gonna walk home, or knowing that their brother's gonna give them a ride home, so.
I would move for another 1 year renewal.
Okay, so we have, it's moved for 1 year approval.
I'd second that.
Okay, moved and seconded for 1 year approval. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? I am opposed. I'm gonna deny it. Citing, both, moral character, related to the lack of training, and then public nuisance, and then a criminal offense, all three of them, so. So again, this is a recommendation. We'll send the board down to the state. They will review the footage. Typically speaking, they will go with the majority rule of the board. So at this point, I don't know if they'll hear this next Tuesday. I don't know that they'll have time to review the footage with tomorrow being a holiday, so maybe the third Tuesday of the month, but they will notify the business, probably the owners, so. You have to communicate with them and make sure you know what they decide. And then at some point, you said you did turn in the paperwork for the transfer.
I believe, which is applied for the transfer.
Let's see, when do you think that was? It's a 3-month process, so it's not showing in the database.
I'll find out.
So if for any reason the state chooses to deny this permit, then that'll be null and void. And the business will just cease. So, yeah. I've got nothing else, so.
So the majority was a 1 year.
It's for a 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which is unusual in a situation of this nature, but totally fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Continue.
I would definitely keep an eye on it, and I would.
We definitely will, like I said. I think we manage our other locations very well, and we'll.
Yeah, it's probably frustrating to run into.
It's very
this
frustrating to
situation.
walk into this situation, but well, like I said, we'll continue the training that we've done in other locations where we've never had a violation
And
in
use, well,
14 years, and obviously have a zero tolerance policy for anybody that is in violation.
except for this one,
What's that?
except for this one. Sedona still works there. That's not a zero tolerance policy. She's still
I'm just saying that going forward, we have a zero tolerance policy for somebody that's not following the training.
I would be careful with zero tolerance policies. Lots of people will fire perfectly wonderful employees who have some bizarre situation that's off. This is obvious, like. This would have been a perfect qualification, but having just an absolute zero tolerance policy, you may have somebody who has some bizarre situation, you completely understand why something happened. And because you wrote it down on a piece of paper, you have to let them go. Be careful with that. Use it as you need to and go from there. I will caution you to just make sure you've used this as a learning opportunity with your other businesses. Because you haven't had any violations doesn't mean you've been 100% in compliance. It just means you haven't had any violations. And people like to stand on that as their moral ground, and just use this as a learning tool for everyone. So if you have to make corrections elsewhere, do it. But I hate being on this end of the table when you guys have done, we've had to deal with this stuff. I've dealt with too many death investigations. I don't enjoy it. I don't like reading the reports. Nobody wins, period. So, all right. But we do as the board have a obligation to the community to make sure that they're safe and that the sale of alcoholic beverages are regulated and people are held accountable. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board members, do you guys have anything else before I adjourn?
I think.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Hi.